And let's have a closer look at those front pages, starting with The Guardian, Josh.
Anger at PM's social homes for British workers plan.
Why are people angry?
They're just angry. And check this out. Not only that, move to keep immigration on agenda sparks fear and derision in The Guardian.
yeah, from anyone outside The Guardian office?
Yeah, they were like, there's so much derision here in the office. I'm sure everyone else feels the same way. But I think most people in the country would go, yeah, social housing would be good for British citizens. The reality is 90% of social housing is occupied by British citizens.
Right.
But in certain parts of London and different cities, like Brent, in London, it's actually 40% of new social houses are led to foreign nationals. Now, they're foreign nationals who have now got settled status.
Yeah.
So it's not like refugees coming over and suddenly getting a home or whatever.
But some is rented to Hamas militants and Hamas leaders. Which suggests there could be some tweaking to be done with the system.
Yeah, well, this idea that actually it's illegal according to equalities law, but really all they need to do is strengthen the policies that Gordon Brown put in place, which was to prioritise the people who had connections to the area, which is essentially if you were born there or family there.
As British citizens.
Or as British
Most
citizens,
likely.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, of course it's a good idea, but the actual derision that the Guardian talks about, they don't say what the reason is, but for me, I do think that I am full of derision, I tell you that much, because there should be 100,000 of these homes built a year, and last year I believe it was 9,000 built, and it's just not been enough, regardless of any immigration. We just haven't had enough social housing built.
But social housing, I mean, Nicholas, as a libertarian, as somebody who believes in the free market, I don't think people should get free houses anyway. Can they get a job like I do and pay for a house?
Well, you could argue for that, but we don't live in a libertarian utopia, right? Some people need help, because we still need to encourage people to have jobs in the first place instead of paying them to watch TV on the couches all day long.
Yeah.
But anyway...
Although if you are doing that and watching GBNews, well done. I approve of that.
Especially if you have one of those little boxes that gives us our figures.
I don't think we have a big demographics of GBNews viewers among the couch potato crowd, thankfully and hopefully. But once and if we decide to provide a social welfare state, including social housing, it makes all the sense in the world to prioritize British people as long as the country is called Britain. The problem is that critics say, it might be unworkable, it might be illegal, because people who arrive, especially from the boats, they don't come with houses on their backs. And then once they are in, and if they do need houses... if they can't speak the language, if many of them are not in the conditions to join the job market, if they are sleeping on the streets, then we have another Paris in England. So it's really tricky. I have a crazy idea. How about not letting them in the first place? You know, countries like Canada, Australia, I know they're protected by oceans around them, but they make sure if you immigrate to those countries, you already have enough money and qualification to be able to hit the ground running, have a job immediately, and have enough savings to sustain you over the first few months when you land in Canada.
So a sensible immigration policy. I mean, it's a crazy idea, but it might just work.